We're doing something a little bit different this time. We're driving the car first. Well, I'll tell you what happened. The sun's going down in about an hour. Jim Ring from the famous Ringbrothers showed up with this Camaro, a heavily modified Camaro, all carbon body, roll cage, 1,000 horsepower, incredible engine. We'll find out about it, but we'll all do it in the car. So stay tuned for an every, I think, a cool episode of Jay Leno's Garage. Yeah! Well, you all know the Ringbrothers. They built some most exciting and best made vehicles at SEMA. I love their stuff because the quality is always there. I never get in one of their vehicles and think, oh my God, this thing's gonna kill me. You know, the number of times people come here with half-finished projects, you know, brake lights don't work, whatever. Never with their Ringbrothers. You always get kind of factory quality hot rods, I guess you would call them, right? Now, what did we start with? We started with a stock 69 Camaro.
Completely stock 69 Camaro. We completely stripped all the body panels. We built the car in CAD, so the car was built on computers. We machined all of the molds, and they're all hand-laid carbon fiber parts that were autoclaved. And then that's pretty much what put the car together. You know, when this car was built, all of the body panels, quarters, roof, fenders, doors, trunk lid, if you were to screw it all together, you could actually get underneath it and pick it up and carry the car. It probably weighed 150 pounds.
Wow. Now, I must say, the way you integrated this roll bar, I didn't even realize it was a roll bar. I mean, I did. It just didn't hit me because I'm used to, like, bringing myself, climbing over the seat to get around. It's nicely done. Now, the whole body is, what does this body weigh, this carbon fiber body?
Just the body panels themselves, and I'm talking just the skins, is about 150 pounds.
Wow. So you're saving what, about 300 pounds? 400?
I would say probably more than I would say closer to 500 pounds.
500 pounds, okay. And the engine we're using here, it says Wagner on it?
It is a Wagner. Carl Wagner, bless his heart, he had left us now, and his son took that business over. Those guys built some incredible motors. They make a lot of horsepower.
And where were they out of?
They're actually out of Markesan, Wisconsin.
Okay. You know, there's a lot of great engine builders and coach builders in Wisconsin. I think the snow keeps them inside. Yeah. They got, you know, here in California, let's go to the beach, you know, and you put the thing down. So what did we start with?
Actually, it was an LS3 based motor. It's running a Whipple supercharger on it.
Okay, now, did the LS3 ever come with a Whipple?
No, it did not.
Okay.
No, it was just, you know, these guys start from scratch.
So how many cubic inch engine did we start with?
Well, this is a 6.2 liter.
Oh, 6.2 liter, okay.
Yeah.
And what's the horsepower on it?
You know, it was making 1,000 on the dyno, and
right.
You know, just like I told you the last time on that Chevelle we did a few years back, I said, you know, a lot of people don't think that these things can make that kind of power, and like you said, a lot of guys come in and say, oh, they got 1,000 horse and it feels like 300 or
right.
400, but these things really do. In this car, we actually detuned. We actually allow the throttle to go 50%. So whatever you give it today, it's only half throttle.
Well, this is what horsepower really feels like. You know, modern cars with all the traction control, the ABS and everything, you do go faster, but this, you know, that thing where you almost lose control and you're going sideways, and that's all part of the fun to me.
You are the traction control.
Yeah, you are the traction control, that's right. So this was a full-on rotisserie, I guess, custom chassis?
Yeah, there's nothing really.
Is there anything Camaro about this?
The inner structure of the car, like if you would pull all the sheet metal off a car, there's a lot of the inner structure left, but basically from the rockers down, you know, it's just hollowed out. All the floors were rebuilt. There's twin floor pans in here. There's an upper one and a lower one. That way we can get rid of all of the junk on the bottom, so it's dead flat on the bottom.
What does this car weigh? Any idea?
We've never weighed it, but I'm thinking it's like 3,600.
Oh, it's that heavy, huh?
There's a lot. All of the weight is in the bottom of this car.
Because it feels like it's about 2,800 pounds to me. It feels lighter than stock Camaro, but that's because the engine, I guess, has so much power and revs so freely. It makes it feel lighter, or maybe it isn't.
All of the weight is in the right place. You know, when you're putting roll bars in things and twin floor pans, and it just adds a lot of weight down low.
Right, right. But this is the classic Ringbrothers kind of hot rod. Big motor, big cue ball gear shifter. You know, just all enough of the signature stuff from back in the day to merely make it ring home for those of us that remember. And for young people who like to relive it, well, it's kind of fun.
You know, we used to restore cars and it got boring for us because when you get it done, you'd go to a car show and there'd be 7 of them exactly like the one you did.
Well, this has all the Ringbrothers touches. Just a beautiful interior. I mean, the factory was never this good, especially on cars like Camaros and Mustangs, because everything was vinyl. And, you know, you're doing it to a price. You know, not to fault the company because they're trying to keep it in the mid-range there.
And you know, we really tried hard to keep this look like the '69 Camaro, the way the pods are. And
right.
Obviously, it's updated, but we kind of kept that feel.
Boy, this motor just breathes so nicely.
It's really hard to beat this transmission. These Tremec transmissions, they do a great job with
You know,
that.
I put Tremec in almost everything. Yeah. They really are great, and it really just makes it such an enjoyable vehicle to drive.
Mark Bowler Transmission out of Illinois, he goes through these transmissions before they go in the car. He makes the thing shift like butter. He does a great job for us.
So how does it work when a customer wants something like this? Does he call you and you tell them what they want, or they tell you what they want? Because a lot of times, I'm sure you find this, customers have no idea what they're talking about. They think they want this, but no, that doesn't work.
You know, we do get people that really say, you know, I really want one of your Camaros, or I really want one of your Mustangs. But really interesting is when we have a customer come in and ask us what we want to build.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fun. You know, I was telling you earlier about the Aston Martin that we're building, and this gentleman come in and he just wants a car. He wants to have us build him a car, and he said, you know, what do you want to build? And we'd like to try something European. You know, we've done the Camaros, the Chevelles, the Mustangs. We'd like to go a little, something European. And he goes, well, how about an Aston Martin? And I said, perfect. So we're in the chassis on that car is all done. And that thing actually is going to have a C6 Corvette platform in it, which means it's got a transaxle in the rear. It's pretty interesting. It'll be a twin turbo Coyote.
Wow.
It's going to be making about 1,600 horse in that car.
Really?
And that whole car will be carbon again. So
will that be manual or automatic?
That's actually going to be that car's going to be a manual.
Wow. Tell me about the twin filler caps in the back. I like it. It's unusual, but they're both close together. What's the reason for that?
You know, originally we did it just to kind of have a little fun with it, so we could actually make it appear like we put race fuel in one and premium in the other.
Right.
But they both go to the same place. It was just, we just thought to equal it out, it would look better to have two back there.
So so no matter which side you pull in, you can fill it on.
Basically, yes. Like I think on some of the '69 Chargers, Chrysler did that. They had a dual cap on each quarter panel.
Well, Jaguar used to have dual fuel tanks.
Oh, they did.
And you had to throw a switch on the dash if you ran out of fuel in one, and obviously the switch didn't work, and then now you got a full tank, but you can't get it in there because the switch is down. You have a situation where you build a car for people, and it scares them to death. It's just too fast for them.
It depends on the customer. You know, we do have people. Most of the people we build cars for have had hot rods. They've had fast cars, but there's just some people that you shouldn't give them all the power. And, and this was one of them. I just didn't feel like I should give it all to them.
Right.
It's easy. It's a 5-minute flip, but we pulled this way back just to keep people a little safer.
Right. Right.
The cars handle pretty well, though. I mean, they feel tight. They work.
You know, I like solid axle vehicles. I know where I am all the time. I can feel when I'm going to lose it when it's sliding, you know. Like my 65 solid axle Mustang. I love that thing. It just makes me smile. Because so much of these things, it's not like Gordon Murray. When he builds a car, he doesn't even tell you the horsepower. Like that new T50 he built. Because it revs to almost like 11 or 12,000 RPM.
Oh my God.
It's a V12. It's such a fun. There's so much joy in driving it that you don't necessarily have to be the fastest, but you're having the most fun and getting the most visceral excitement out of it, you know?
It's hard to believe you can spin a motor that tight.
Well, you know, I got a Honda 600, 1964, and that's got a 9,500 RPM redline in 1964. It was Honda's first car.
You've never spun it up there, have you?
Oh yeah, that's how you drive it. It loves to rev. All the power's up there.
Oh my
it's only
God.
57 horsepower, but it gives such a blood-curdling scream that you just enjoy driving the thing. From finish to end, what's the normal amount of time to do a Ringbrothers car?
You know, typically it takes a couple years.
A couple years?
Yeah, a year and a half to 2 years. We try to get our cars timed down to be at SEMA to show them off. You know, it's a wonderful place to be able to show your work.
Right.
And this, back to that Aston Martin, we're actually hoping to take that to.
What model Aston Martin is
It's
it?
a 71 DB.
Is there any car you want to do, you haven't done, you wish somebody would bring to you?
Again, it goes back to being something European. I don't know how many cars Mike and I got left in the tank. You know,
Yeah.
we're getting up there, so whatever it is, I want it to be exciting, you know, and as you know, it's not a cheap hobby.
No, it's not a cheap hobby. And you just bought what, a Dodge Demon? What'd you buy?
My brother did a Dodge Charger Red Eye.
Oh, the Charger Red Eye. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a fast car.
Yeah, he put HRE wheels on it and lowered it. And I actually bought a new Cat track machine excavator.
This is all leather here in the interior, right?
Interior's all leather.
Who did the gauges?
The gauges are done by Dakota Digital.
Oh, sure.
They do a great job for us.
Yeah, I've heard of them, yeah.
Steering wheel is one of our wheels. We come out with new steering wheel line. They're carbon fiber wheels. We actually do, the one in this car is a crushed carbon. We also do a regular weave carbon. But
All right. Tell me about the taillights.
taillights, you know, they're actually, we machined all of the taillight bezels with the LED boards behind it, but we wanted it to look 69 Camaro, but change it up a little bit. So
Right.
we actually drilled all of the holes and set them back so that when you look at the tail light, it almost appears to be you're looking at each digital light,
Right.
but it's just the way that machining is done.
And what are these door handles from?
Door handles are another product that Ringbrothers makes. We do these they pretty much fit all the early GM cars.
Okay.
The door mirrors that you see there, we do them in carbon. We build them mirrors also.
And whose roll bar is this? Do you make this?
This is all hand fabricated.
Well, it's beautiful.
Thank
It
you.
integrates just so nicely. I mean, I know it's there, but I just don't notice it because I'm not banging my head on it when I
Yeah.
get in.
You know, you see a lot of cars that are built with the roll bar that comes across the seat that you have to kind of climb over to get
Right.
in, and that's no fun.
Those headlights look familiar to me. What are they from?
They're actually a Harley Davidson motorcycle headlight.
Really?
Yeah,
I guess that's legal because it's 1969.
it is. They're pretty bright. They work well. They actually discontinued that light now. You can't get them anymore, but
And this car is called the Strode?
it's called STRODE. So there's a little story behind that.
Okay.
We were unveiling this car at SEMA, and it was obviously always during Halloween. And this guy's a dear friend of Kevin Hart, and Kevin Hart had a car built called Michael Myers. That's what he named the car.
Right.
Well, in the Hollywood movie, Michael Myers could never kill his sister Strode, so he could pretty much wipe anybody out but Strode. So we just thought to be fun, and he's friends, that we would call this car Strode because Michael Myers can't beat it.
There you go. Makes perfect sense.
Makes sense to me.
Well, Jim, thanks for coming. We did a little bit different this time because the sun's about to go down here and traffic's getting crazy because it's LA. So I want to thank you for bringing this by. It was fun seeing you and fun getting a chance to drive this. And the nice thing about driving your cars in LA traffic is they don't overheat, they don't break down. The number of times you've gotten stuck, it's just so annoying. But we always know when you're here, it's always going to be something good. So once again, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Jay.
And we'll see you guys next week. We did a little bit different this time. I hope you liked it.